Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure to be able to stand here on a Friday afternoon after a long week of work to say thank you to you. I know that somebody is going to come and do a vote of thanks, but I want to take this opportunity as I open this short period of time for us to get together before we go home, to start off by saying thank you very much for giving up your time to be with us for the whole week in order to participate in this boot camp of the Moses Kotane Institute. I'd like, first of all, to thank the Department of Education, which is represented by people who are not politicians. They are here. And that is why I'm not following a political protocol here. It's because we do not have politicians. But I really would like to say thank you very much to the department. I've had many meetings with the MEC, and I've been talking to some people in the head office, including the head of department. We had many meetings with the district directors, and I believe that there's no need for me to treat the district directors as people who are special guests at the Moses Kotane Institute, because this is their project. And they assured me when we were having a conversation and discussions about this that they are part of the Moses Kotane Institute now. So I don't have to give them a special thank you other than to reassure them that Moses Kotane Institute is their home. And I believe that all of you teachers have seen in the past 5 days that the Moses Kotane Institute is a place that you can call home. Peter, could you please sit here? That is Mr. Peter Southey. He's working very closely with the Moses Kotane Institute as well. His keen interest is in the clicker system, and he works closely with Mr. Digkomo on the Naledi School program. What I want to say is not a long speech that is made by a politician, as I said, other than to say to you that I'd like you to look back at this week and say the Moses Kotane Institute is our home. And I'm hoping that those who are going to be representing you for a few minutes talking here are going to make it very clear to us that the Moses Kotane Institute is your home. This was a special boot camp that we want to make happen every year, and we want to have this thing happening more than once in a year. I really do regret that we started late in the year, because the plan was to start early in the year, and by this time, we really should be polishing things. And I'm sure that is your view, that we should actually start early, and by this time, we get together to polish things. And those people who were doubting whether or not they should come and participate here, and perhaps were forced by your superiors, I hope now that you can say to yourselves, it was not a waste of time. And you really are not going to need somebody to tell you to participate in this program. Because I am going to need your support in order for me to be able to convince the government of KwaZulu-Natal, the government of South Africa, as well as the private sector, that this is something that needs to be supported. I'm very, very thankful that Mr. Valda from ICRA is here today, because when I communicated with him, he was convinced in the very first few seconds of talking to him, and he gave me the impression that these sort of things are the things that he believes in. And he came on the first day. Unfortunately, we did not have access to this room, but he came again yesterday, and he's here again today. And I'd like to say thank you very much, Mr. Valda, for being with us. And I'm sure that your observation of the activities in this boot camp are going to convince you that this is something that is worthwhile, and you'll be able to assist the Moses Kotane Institute to convince the private sector that this is something that we need to join hands and do together. The subject advisors who were not necessarily participating in the teaching, like Mr. Kesh Twala. Again, I'd also like to thank them very much, because when we were discussing with the district officials, they were part of the discussions. And when we were interviewing people who were going to be participating in this program, they also contributed to it. I know that you come as teachers from different schools, and you also come from different teacher unions and so on. And I'm sure spending time together for 5 days here made you realize that there's one common goal for the teachers. And whether you belong to a particular union or a particular union does not make you forget about the importance of a teacher. And some of the things that were said yesterday by you talking to the minister made me realize the serious problems that you're facing, especially the fact that teaching has actually been downgraded to a place where anybody who does not have anything to do could actually go to teaching and be accepted and destroy the system, basically. So that those who are committed can be very discouraged by what is happening. And it appears, when you look at those sort of things happening, that even the government is not very serious about teaching as a profession. I mean, there is no better profession than teaching. It doesn't matter which profession you mention, everybody is brought to where they are by a teacher. And I think it is a profession that needs to be taken much more seriously than we are taking it. And that begins with the way you guys are paid and recognized, not only by government, but also the private sector. I think some of the benefits that are gotten by people who are not teachers should also be looked at, and we should ask ourselves the question, what are we doing for the teachers? I mean, how many people in other professions would give up their time like you did to be here for the whole week for nothing? You're not getting paid for being here, but you are here because you believe in your profession. So I really want to take my hat off for you, and I would like to say to you that do not give up on the profession of teaching, and we still have an opportunity to bring the minds of South Africans and the leadership of this country back to the point where teaching was very, very seriously recognized and taken seriously by everybody in the country. And I think if we continue to work together, we will get to that point. So I don't want to waste too much time. I'm aware that many of you are coming from afar. I'd like to apologize for anything unbecoming that has happened in the past 5 days in the hostel, in the dining room, in the classroom, or wherever. I'd like to apologize in advance for that. So I'm hoping that you're not going to dwell on those things. But if there's anything that you want to share with us so that we can correct as the Moses Kotane Institute, I'd like you to share that with us. But I'm hoping that it was not too bad. And also my staff, I just want to remind you that we did not appoint some people to run this. The people who've been assisting you, who've been dishing food to you, assisting the people who are caterers, are actually employees of the Moses Kotane Institute. They are the secretaries and assistants at the Moses Kotane Institute. And I'd also like to thank them for working very hard for a whole week. Fortunately, our office is not very far from where the activities are taking place. So with those few words, I'd like to call on Mr. Phillip Digkomo, who is representing the MEC in a way, because we had invited MEC Mchunu to share a few words of encouragement with you, and he did get back to me, and he said that he's going to talk to the head of department, Dr. Lubisi, and together with Dr. Lubisi, they're going to nominate an appropriate person to come and talk to you today. And Mr. Digkomo has been given that task. And so Mr. Digkomo is fortunate in that he's surrounded by his colleagues. And I'm sure he does not have anything to be afraid of. And again, as I said, Mr. Digkomo, there's no politician here. I think you're going to be free to address us in whatever way you would like. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Are you there? Let me just see the hands. It's a Friday afternoon and everybody's beginning to think of home. You reach home before you actually are there, you know. Okay, my name is Phillip Digkomo, of course, in the Department of Education. I'm going to keep it as brief as possible because I don't think it's the time for long speeches today. But let me just start by thanking you guys for being here. And I think Professor Moody said he takes his head off for you. I expected you to applause, but then can I ask you to do it now? You know, things that come at an end of a program, they are important in many ways because they give you time to reflect and to say, has it gone well? And what does it augur for us in terms of the future? I want to thank Moses Kotane as an institute, and I'll come back to it a bit later. That's an institute that is, I think it has just been formed, but already we see a lot that comes from that institute, and we're very fortunate as a province to have a young man of this energy to be driving the things that we are. We are very fortunate. Just give him another hand. I'm always skeptical of people who go with bald head. You know bald head? Sometimes I suspect there's something they hide. When you are bald here, they say, J Slam. When you are bald here, they say, J Dunk. When you are bald here and here, they say J Dunk, J Slam. So it's better to be able to cut everything off. Let everything go away. Thank you very much. I want to thank the teachers, the subject advisors. I remember it's about a month or so ago when we started conceptualizing this very program. It was at Dukis. We had called the subject advisors from the 3 districts. Professor Moody was there. And we tried to put it together so that we can have something meaningful for the 6 weeks of the vacations. I want to thank the facilitators, the trainers. Yeah, I was lucky to be in the maths group and the science group. I missed out to be on the English and the other life science, but I just want to thank them. Putting together a program that will be, you know, appreciated, that will add value for a period of a week is not a child's play, and I want to thank them for all their dedication. Let me thank the University of KwaZulu-Natal broadly, and I'll also come back to it. It is really a help in the Department of Education. Without this institution, the Department of Education will be struggling in a number of areas, and later on I'll also inform you about in what other areas they have also assisted us.